This week, I stumbled upon a groundbreaking perspective that could be the key to unlocking a new level of emotional freedom. It's an insight from David R. Hawkins' book, Letting Go, that has profoundly impacted my journey, and I'm eager to share it with you. Have you ever wondered why, despite all of your efforts to release those negative emotions, you still don't feel as uplifted as you should? Today, we will explore how we might be unconsciously resisting positive emotions and how this awareness can bring about a monumental shift in your personal growth. So let's dive in. I discovered a new perspective last week, which was hugely eye-opening for me. I have never looked at it like that. And every time I find a new way of looking at things that help me on my change journey, you know me, I have to share it with you. I'm currently reading the book Letting Go by David R. Hawkins, and he describes one part of the letting go process that I never consciously thought about. It's another layer where we might self-sabotage ourselves and don't allow ourselves to feel better, which we all want, right? Essentially, it's just another way of looking at the same process that I have been using for years now and teaching as well for a while now. But I know of the power of saying the same things in many different ways, so it lands with the biggest impact for you. We all know that we have to hear and listen to things several times before it clicks, or we just have to hear it in other words and it finally all makes sense to us. So I'm excited to tell you all about it and share as well how I applied it straight away to give you as well a good example. So for whom will this new perspective be of help? What might you struggle with that this new way of looking at things helps you to move forward? In general, it will help anyone who's struggling to feel more of the so-called positive emotions in their lives. If you wish to feel more love, bliss, peace, joy, and contentment in your life, but don't seem to be able to get there, then you want to listen to this episode. More specifically, this new perspective will be helpful for anyone who is already practicing the technique of letting go and releasing stuck emotions, trauma, and memories. But you don't seem to be able to start feeling significantly better through all of this releasing. You are wondering why nothing much is changing given the efforts you are already putting in, right? If that is you, then this could be the missing puzzle piece for you to make a huge shift in your progress. It can be very disheartening to have said yes to that process of change, to change something inside of yourself, to doing the inner work, to be in that river of change on a daily basis and not seeing the benefits yet. You keep releasing, changing, and letting go, and still you're not experiencing the level of relief that you actually desire. Obviously, the danger could be that you give up on yourself and believe that you are not doing it right, or that it's just not working for you. That would be the worst thing that could happen. And if that is you, on the brink of throwing in the towel, then I invite you to stay with me here today and try out this new perspective. It might just be the answer that you were looking for. I personally was not even looking for this answer. I did not have the question, well, minimum not consciously, but given how much it has affected me reading and discovering this knowledge, it's obvious that it's important in my own progress and for my mission here in life. As I already mentioned, I was able to apply it straight away and realize where I was still holding myself back in my release process by just not being aware of this. Given how easy it is for me to already come across a few examples just since I've read this last week, I know this information was significant for me, even if I was not looking for it. Something inside of me was looking for it, and I'm grateful for having found it. So let's finally talk about what this new perspective actually is. If you have followed me for a while now, you know how I teach the process of letting go and releasing, especially when it comes to stuck emotions that keep us being triggered and dampen the joy in our lives. And this new insight is inviting us not only to let go of the negative emotions, but letting go as well of resisting the positive emotions. There is a high possibility that you are resisting to experience positive emotions in your life. Or you resist having something positive happen in your life. You think that you are actually open to receiving the feelings of joy, peace, contentment, happiness, and love. But actually, you are resisting it, and you're probably not even aware of it. So let me give you a few examples to explain this further. Let's say you feel resentment toward a person in your life, and you know already that this resentment is only hurting you, so you're doing the inner work to release this resentment. This could be resentment towards a person, towards what they did, or in general the emotion of resentment that has only been triggered through this person now, but has always been stuck inside of you for a long time probably. You have done all of the releasing you could do, and you are surprised that you are not truly feeling better. You kind of feel stuck, even though when you check back with that emotion of resentment, you know that you have done enough inner work to release it. So why do you not feel better? Well, what would be the feeling that you feel after releasing the emotion of resentment towards a person? One of the feelings would be forgiveness, right? Or maybe freedom. Now you can check in with yourself. Are you resisting feeling forgiveness in your life? Are you not allowing yourself to feel free? At this point in the process of letting go, this would not have anything to do anymore with the person or the resentment. It has to do with you, and if you allow yourself in general to feel forgiveness or to feel freedom. It could be that there is another level, another layer that you need to let go of, and that is the resistance of feeling forgiveness or freedom. Let's look at another example. Something tragic happens to you and you grieve. You might grieve about a person you lost, a relationship, or a situation that you regret losing. You are grieving for a while, and then you become aware and realize that it's time to move on and release the grief out of your life. You complete the inner work to release grief for the person, the relationship, or the situation, and suddenly you know it's over. You released it. You have done the work to release the emotion of grief, and you don't feel like it's calling out for you anymore. It's not pulling you anymore in. So why don't you feel better? What are you missing to make yourself feel more elevated emotions now? Where is that other side of the coin? Let's look at what you would feel if you would let go of grief in your life. If you look objectively at the absence of grief, then you could expect to feel moments of joy or happiness, right? Grief is usually what does not allow us to feel any kind of joy or happiness in our lives. But when the grief has been released, why would we not feel suddenly moments of joy or happiness again? If that is the case and you feel stuck, ask yourself if you are resisting feeling joy. Are you actually allowing yourself to be happy? Or is there something else inside of you that is saying no to happiness and joy? And don't get me wrong, this does not need to be the case when you release resentment or grief from your life or any other kind of emotion. The usual experience would be that you feel elevated emotions like forgiveness, freedom, joy, and happiness again in your life. That is what usually happens. That is my experience, and most of the time as well the experience of my students. But then there are these moments in our lives where it just doesn't seem to work like that. It doesn't follow this linear path, and you wonder why you don't end up automatically at that elevated emotion after releasing the stuck emotion. And that's where this perspective can be the last puzzle piece for you. The last little bit of releasing that you still need to do, the releasing of your resistance towards the positive emotions you actually desire. And I promise you to share an example with you from my life since I learned about this new perspective. It was just a couple of days ago and I was driving home from work and I listened to the last 30 minutes of an audiobook from Michael Singer. And the last sentence that he was saying, literally the last 2 sentences were, "You who do the work of liberating yourself are to be deeply respected. With great love and respect, Michael A. Singer." And bam! As soon as I heard this sentence, tears welled up in my eyes and my throat tightened. It was so deeply touching that he said that he respected me. And I knew something was up. I was triggered. It had to do, obviously, with the word respect. Given what I just learned, this new perspective, just a few days earlier, I checked in with myself. Do I respect myself? And the pretty immediate answer was no. Do I allow myself to feel respected? No, not really. Is there something inside of me that resists feeling respect for myself? Yes, there you have it. I don't respect myself. I don't feel deserving of respect. Not really from others and certainly not from myself. And when I felt the resistance of respect for myself, my mind started to throw all of these reasons, aka beliefs, around and at me for why I cannot feel respect for myself. It was just mind-blowing. So respecting yourself is, of course, a positive experience that most people probably desire, including myself. But I have lots of beliefs inside of me that resist the experience. So that's for me to let go of now. The resistance and the beliefs inside of my mind, consciously or unconsciously, that don't allow me to respect myself. As much as it hurts to realize, in the end, it's a gift, isn't it? An awareness of something that I would never have given another thought if I had not had this new perspective of looking at where in my life I resist feeling positive emotions or having positive experiences in my life. So use it. Take this new knowledge into your life and look where you might be holding yourself back from feeling love, peace, harmony, freedom, bliss, health, abundance, or joy. What experiences do you not allow yourself to have that you actually desire? Potentially you have done already all the work you needed to free yourself from stuck emotions and memories that were holding you back from feeling those elevated emotions. But now you know that there could be another layer just in front of feeling those elevated emotions that is standing in your way. The layer of resisting the feeling or experience that you actually desire. How about that? Isn't it amazing to discover this and to know this now? I wish you all the best in applying this to your change journey on your path to self-actualization. May you come across all the resistance that is holding you back from experiencing your dream life. Thank you for watching this video with me today, and with that, I love you and leave you. Talk soon and bye-bye.